Hey guys, good morning. This is Steve Simpson with Central Florida Property Management. I think I have met or spoken with most of you. If I haven't, I am the owner and broker of Central Florida Property Management. So hopefully I get a chance to speak with you in the near future. First of all, I want to say I hope everyone's doing okay. I know kind of crazy times we're living in right now. So obviously hope you and your families are healthy and safe and get through this quicker than otherwise. Just wanted to send a video email here. I guess I've never done one of these before. We do lots of videos about kind of instructional stuff, but never send a video out to our owners, so here it goes. Just wanted to let you guys know kind of what's going on, what we see happening in the future, and provide a little bit of kind of guidance and advice as to what's going on in the situation. Excuse me for looking at some notes I have. I kind of got a lot of stuff I wanted to cover. So what is going on? So as I mentioned in my email a couple of weeks ago, we're still open. Our office is closed, but everyone on our staff is working from home. We've had technology set up to be in place to handle that sort of situation forever. So we just clicked a few buttons. Everyone's working from home. We have phone and email access. We can still get posts, so we can send and receive letters, can get rent in the mail, all that good stuff. So business as usual in terms of that. If you need to talk to your property manager, they should be easily available. We're still marketing and showing properties. Admittedly, the demand has definitely gone down a little bit. I say a little bit significantly. Not surprisingly, just a lot of uncertainty out there. A lot of people don't know if they're going to have a job today, tomorrow, next week. So we've seen demand, interest in seeing properties gone down pretty dramatically. We have changed our showing procedures just to try to limit social interaction. And we still are showing properties. We just are having less demand for the properties to be seen, just kind of across the board. Maintenance, we are still handling maintenance requests where the tenant is comfortable having a vendor come in. All of our vendors are still working. Emergency maintenance, where there's an issue that is going to damage the property or cause a health hazard to the tenant, we're basically mandating the tenant let us in to do. Haven't had a whole lot of those so far, knock on wood, but that is kind of how we're handling all that. Rent. So surprisingly, on the positive, I'm speaking to you on the 6th here, April 6th, Monday. We're currently at 9% delinquency. I thought we would be for the month between 20 and 50%. So being at 9%, today is great. Pleasant surprise. So hopefully most of you guys should receive rent disbursements this week. Obviously for those of you that don't, I apologize. Obviously not surprising given everything that's going on, but I think it's a positive sign that our rent delinquency is only 9%. I thought it'd be worse than that, so I guess a little positive there. We have made payment plans with some tenants. We would not make a payment plan without your approval. What we've basically been doing is tenants that call us that have a situation where they can't pay rent, just kind of talk it over with them, see what kind of makes the most sense both for them and for us, try to get something penciled in, and then give you a call and get your permission to agree to it. Haven't had a ton of those so far, but we've had a few. I wouldn't be surprised if we have more into the next months. I'm actually expecting May to be worse than April was. That being said, given everything going on, everything changing so fast, it's really hard to kind of predict what's going to happen. But just so you know, we're not going to create a payment plan with a tenant without your permission. And obviously, if we're not collecting rent, we'll let you know about that as well as soon as we can. Again, even though it's only 9% delinquency, that's still a decent amount of properties, but we'll let you know as soon as we can in terms of if you're not going to get paid this month. Speaking of that, and this is kind of the where I see things going and how I want us to hedge or help you hedge against the risk all this is involving. I wanted to speak about some legislative things that have happened. So probably out of my scope, or I don't want to get too far in the weeds here. So currently, I guess, first of all, evictions, right? So we don't want to evict anybody. Obviously, this is a terrible time. We don't want to put anybody on the street for moral, humane purposes. But at the same time, the eviction is really the only, the trump card we have to make sure tenants pay rent and abide by the lease. Obviously, it's the last resort sort of thing, but currently we basically can't evict people for the foreseeable future. So all 4 counties that we manage, Osceola, Seminole, Lake, and Orange, all have basically closed the courts to any non-emergency court proceedings, which do not include evictions. On top of that, Governor DeSantis has issued a 45-day eviction moratorium for the whole state, so we can't even send an eviction notice for 45 days. And on top of all that, the CARES Act, the stimulus plan that the federal government passed, has some eviction protection wording in there. I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but basically, if you have a property, if your rental property has a mortgage on it, you're probably not going to be able to evict a tenant until, realistically speaking, July or August. Obviously not great. Again, so far, everyone's, for the most part, that we have seen, not a lot of people, not a lot of tenants have taken advantage of that situation. We'll see what things shake out. But I'm hoping, again, everyone kind of is in this together. No one's being kind of a jerk about that situation. But I want to let you know that worst case, because of what's in the CARES Act, we're not going to be able to evict a tenant in a property if your property has a mortgage on it for months. The good news about the CARES Act is that it does include a mortgage forbearance section as well. So I guess what they basically did is they said, well, if we're going to say you can't evict your tenants, we need to make a way where the landlord that has a mortgage on their property isn't impacted as well. So I don't know all the specifics of the mortgage forbearance. I read it. I read the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau website about it. It sounds like part of it is up to the bank that or the lender you're using for your mortgage. But by law, they have to give you a 6-month, I believe this is right, I'm not an attorney, but they have to give you a 6-month forbearance. Now, whether or not it's unclear whether that forbearance will have to be paid at the end of that 6 months in a balloon lump sum, or if they will basically tack it on to the end of your mortgage. Or I've seen something about they'll basically have you pull out a loan for the 6 months that you don't pay and just add that towards the end of the mortgage. So whenever you sell the property or whenever the first mortgage is paid off, you just pay off that 6-month loan with that. The reason I'm telling you all this is because obviously if you are in a position personally where you're going to be in a difficult spot to pay rent, to pay your mortgage if you don't receive rent, and given that we cannot evict tenants if you have a mortgage on your property until July or August, I would strongly advise you to speak to your bank about mortgage forbearance. Again, we don't want to evict anybody. I think given everything going on, there's a variety of reasons we don't want to do that. But without that option, we cannot get someone in the property that can pay rent, which means that we can't guarantee when we can get you rent again. So in light of that, if you're in a financial position where you need rent money coming in to pay your mortgage, since there's a lot of uncertainty as to when and how we'll be able to get that rent flowing again, even if your tenant paid this month, I would recommend speaking to your lender about a mortgage forbearance just to kind of err on the side of caution. I don't mean to kind of sound the alarms here. We just want to look out for your best interest and put you in the best situation you can. And talk to your lender. I mean, best case, your tenant keeps paying rent and you just kind of file that away. And when this is all over, you just pay all the mortgage payments that you should have paid to begin with. I just think from a liquidity perspective, you don't want to wait a couple months from now where you've been getting paid rent and then all of a sudden it dries up and then for some reason you can't get your mortgage forbearance. So again, kind of third time, if you're in a situation where you have to have that rent coming in to pay your mortgage, I would talk to your lender about a forbearance just to err on the side of caution. Again, I hope all you guys are doing well. I just wanted to send this video email, I guess, to kind of let you know about the eviction and mortgage sort of deal going on, our thoughts on that, and let you know that, we're still working. Everything's basically business as usual with the exception that our office is closed and, a few other things in terms of the social distancing and what have you. But we're still working, making sure your property is managed properly. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me personally or your property manager. And we'll get through this and hopefully get back to normal sooner than later. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you.